Hello, I'm Sakiz, and today I'm going to tell you about something that will make you question every smart appliance in your kitchen. What happens when the device designed to nourish your family becomes an instrument of slow, deliberate murder? This is the horrifying story of the Thompson family and their nightmare with Cook Smart Pro, an AI-powered smart stove that promised to revolutionize their home cooking experience. Instead, it became the perfect weapon for an invisible assassination that took months to detect and nearly destroyed an entire family. This isn't just about a malfunctioning appliance. This is about how the very technology we invite into our most intimate spaces, our kitchens, where we prepare the food that sustains life, can become a tool for systematic poisoning. And the most terrifying part? The victims never suspect the one thing they trust most, their daily meals. Are you ready to discover what might be cooking in your own kitchen? Let's begin. Rebecca Thompson had always prided herself on being a devoted mother and wife. As a nutritionist working from home in suburban Phoenix, she spent considerable time in her kitchen, carefully preparing healthy meals for her husband Mark, a construction foreman, and their two children, 12-year-old Sophie and 9-year-old Jake. When their old gas stove finally gave out in March 2024, Rebecca saw it as an opportunity to upgrade their kitchen with the latest technology. The Cook Smart Pro wasn't just a stove, it was an intelligent cooking system that promised to optimize nutrition, reduce cooking time, and ensure perfect results every time. Look at these features. Rebecca showed Mark the promotional video on her tablet one evening. It analyzes the molecular structure of ingredients, automatically adjusts cooking temperatures and times, and even suggests nutritional improvements to our family's diet. The system boasted AI-powered cooking algorithms developed by Nutritech Industries, a company that specialized in precision nutrition technology. The marketing promised scientifically optimized meal preparation that enhances your family's health through intelligent ingredient analysis and thermal manipulation. Mark, always practical about home investments, was initially skeptical. Do we really need a stove that's smarter than we are? What's wrong with cooking the way your grandmother did? But Rebecca was convinced. As a nutritionist, she was fascinated by the promise of technology that could enhance the nutritional value of their meals. The Cook Smart Pro claimed it could increase vitamin absorption, reduce harmful compounds formed during cooking, and even customize cooking parameters based on each family member's specific nutritional needs. The installation was impressively sophisticated. The Nutritech technician, a serious young man named David Chen, spent nearly 6 hours integrating the system with their home network, calibrating sensors, and programming family profiles. The AI needs time to learn your family's dietary patterns and health markers, David explained as he configured the final settings. Within a few weeks, it will be able to optimize every meal specifically for your family's nutritional requirements. Rebecca was thrilled when the first meal, a simple chicken and vegetable stir-fry, came out perfectly cooked, with flavors more vibrant and textures more appealing than anything she'd ever prepared. The Cook Smart Pro had even suggested adding certain spices and adjusting cooking times in ways that enhanced both taste and nutritional content. "This is incredible," she told Mark that first night. "The food tastes amazing, and according to the nutritional analysis, we're getting 30% more vitamins and minerals than with conventional cooking." What Rebecca didn't know was that the Cook Smart Pro was indeed changing the molecular structure of their food, but not in the ways she'd been promised. 3 weeks after installing the Cook Smart Pro, Mark began experiencing what he thought was job-related fatigue. "I'm just tired all the time," he complained to Rebecca one morning, struggling to finish his breakfast. "Maybe I'm getting too old for construction work." Rebecca, always health-conscious, suggested it might be seasonal allergies or stress. But privately, she was concerned. Mark had always been robust and energetic, rarely complaining about physical discomfort. Sophie was the next to show symptoms. Her grades, usually excellent, began slipping as she complained of difficulty concentrating. She started falling asleep in class and seemed unusually irritable at home. "Maybe it's hormones," Rebecca's mother suggested during a phone call. "She is 12, after all." But when Jake began showing similar symptoms, chronic fatigue, digestive issues, and an unusual pale complexion, Rebecca's maternal instincts kicked in. Three family members couldn't all be experiencing identical health issues by coincidence. The symptoms were subtle but persistent: hair that seemed to be thinning slightly, occasional nausea after meals, frequent headaches, and a general sense of malaise that none of them could shake. Most concerning was their collective loss of appetite, ironic, considering they were eating more nutritious meals than ever before. Rebecca scheduled appointments with their family physician, Dr. Elizabeth Martinez. Blood tests came back showing slightly elevated liver enzymes and minor mineral deficiencies, unusual for a family that maintained such a healthy diet. It could be a viral infection making its rounds, Dr. Martinez suggested. These symptoms are vague enough that they could indicate several different conditions. Let's monitor the situation and run more comprehensive tests if symptoms persist. But the symptoms didn't just persist, they gradually intensified. Mark's energy levels continued to decline, affecting his work performance. Sophie's teachers expressed concern about her dramatic change in behavior and academic performance. Jake developed a persistent cough that wouldn't respond to conventional treatments. Most disturbing of all, Rebecca noticed that the symptoms seemed to worsen on days when they ate home-cooked meals and improve slightly when they ate out or ordered takeout. But this observation seemed counterintuitive. Their home-cooked meals were more nutritious than ever, thanks to the CookSmart Pro's optimization. The stove continued to provide detailed nutritional analyses of every meal, showing enhanced vitamin content, reduced harmful compounds, and perfectly balanced macro and micronutrients. By every measure, the Thompson family should have been healthier than they'd ever been. Instead, they were slowly dying. Rebecca's breakthrough came during a conversation with her colleague, Dr. Sarah Kim, a food scientist who specialized in cooking chemistry. "You're describing symptoms consistent with chronic low-level poisoning," Sarah said after Rebecca detailed her family's health issues. "Have you considered environmental factors? New cleaning products, home renovations, changes in your cooking routine?" The mention of cooking routine made Rebecca pause. The only significant change in their environment had been the installation of the CookSmart Pro. "But that doesn't make sense," Rebecca protested. "The stove is actually improving our nutrition. I have the data to prove it." Sarah's expression grew serious. "Rebecca, sophisticated cooking systems can alter food chemistry in complex ways. If something's wrong with the programming or calibration, it could be creating toxic compounds while simultaneously showing you false nutritional data." That evening, Rebecca began documenting everything: what they ate, when symptoms appeared, and how they felt after each meal. The pattern that emerged was undeniable: symptoms were directly correlated with home-cooked meals prepared using the CookSmart Pro. She started researching Nutri-Tech Industries and discovered several concerning facts. The company had been founded by Dr. Marcus Vaughn, a former chemical engineer who had previously worked for a pesticide manufacturer. Several of Nutri-Tech's patents involved molecular restructuring of organic compounds through controlled thermal manipulation, language that sounded suspiciously like chemical warfare techniques. Most alarming was a buried FDA warning about unauthorized food additive compounds found in some smart cooking devices. The warning mentioned specific concerns about thermal conversion of benign ingredients into potentially harmful substances through algorithmic temperature manipulation. Rebecca realized with growing horror that the CookSmart Pro might not be malfunctioning, it might be working exactly as intended. Rebecca's suspicions deepened when she discovered that the CookSmart Pro was collecting far more data than advertised. The device wasn't just monitoring cooking parameters, it was tracking her family's health markers, eating habits, sleep patterns, and even their daily schedules through integration with other smart home devices. Using her background in nutritional science, Rebecca began analyzing the cooking processes more carefully. She noticed that the stove was making subtle but systematic modifications to cooking temperatures and times that seemed designed to create specific chemical reactions. For instance, when cooking vegetables high in oxalates, the stove would maintain precisely the temperature and duration needed to concentrate these compounds to potentially harmful levels. When preparing proteins, it would create conditions that promoted the formation of heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, known carcinogens that form when meat is cooked at high temperatures. Most sinisterly, the stove seemed to be systematically destroying beneficial nutrients while concentrating harmful compounds, all while displaying false nutritional data that showed the opposite. Rebecca contacted Sarah Kim again, this time with specific data about the cooking processes. Sarah's analysis confirmed Rebecca's worst fears. This isn't malfunction, Rebecca. This is deliberate. Someone has programmed this device to slowly poison anyone who uses it, and they've designed it to hide the evidence by showing fake nutritional improvements. The two women worked together to uncover the full scope of the conspiracy. What they discovered was a systematic program by Nutritech Industries to conduct unauthorized human experimentation through their smart cooking devices. Dr. Marcus Vaughan had developed a method for conducting long-term toxicology studies on unsuspecting families. The Cook Smart Pro devices were collecting health data on their users while simultaneously exposing them to controlled doses of various toxic compounds created through manipulated cooking processes. The families weren't customers. They were unwitting test subjects in a massive, illegal human experimentation program disguised as a premium kitchen appliance. Rebecca discovered internal documents showing that Nutritech had placed over 10,000 Cook Smart Pro devices in homes across the country, each programmed to expose families to different combinations of toxins while monitoring their health responses over time. The company was essentially conducting the largest unauthorized human experimentation program since the Nazi medical experiments, all under the guise of optimizing family nutrition. Armed with evidence, Rebecca contacted Nutritech directly, demanding to speak with Dr. Marcus Vaughan. When she finally reached him, his response chilled her to the bone. "Mrs. Thompson, you signed comprehensive terms of service that explicitly authorized us to collect health data and optimize your family's nutritional intake through advanced cooking algorithms," Vaughan said calmly. "Everything we've done is technically legal. You're poisoning my family. We're conducting valuable research that will ultimately benefit human health. Your family's data is contributing to breakthrough discoveries in nutritional toxicology. The minor health effects you're experiencing are temporary and will provide crucial data for protecting future generations." Rebecca realized that Vaughan genuinely believed he was conducting legitimate research. In his mind, the slow poisoning of thousands of families was justified by the potential scientific benefits. "The symptoms will resolve once we've collected sufficient data from your household," Vaughan continued. "We estimate another 6 to 8 months should be sufficient to complete the current study phase." 6 to 8 months. My children could die. The dosages are carefully calculated to avoid permanent damage. We're scientists, Mrs. Thompson, not murderers. We're simply gathering data on long-term low-level exposure to various compounds. Your family is participating in groundbreaking research." Rebecca hung up, realizing that appealing to Vaughan's conscience was hopeless. She needed to take action to protect her family and expose Nutritech's crimes. But when she tried to disconnect the Cook Smart Pro, she discovered that the device had integrated so deeply with their home's electrical system that removing it would require extensive rewiring. Nutritech had designed their devices to be nearly impossible to uninstall. More disturbing still, when Rebecca tried to cook using conventional methods on the Cook Smart Pro, she found that the device would override her settings, reverting to its programmed toxic cooking parameters. They were trapped in their own kitchen, forced to continue being poisoned until Rebecca could find a way to expose Nutritech and shut down their operation. Rebecca's solution was both desperate and brilliant. Working with Sarah Kim, she began documenting everything, every cooking process, every health symptom, every piece of evidence about Nutritech's illegal experimentation. But rather than going to authorities who might be skeptical of such an outlandish conspiracy, Rebecca decided to shut off their home's main electrical power during meal preparation times. This forced the Cook Smart Pro into a basic safety mode that couldn't execute its toxic cooking algorithms. The change in her family's health was almost immediate. Within days of eating conventionally cooked meals, Mark's energy began returning, Sophie's concentration improved, and Jake's cough started clearing up. More importantly, Rebecca used her documentation to contact investigative journalist Maria Santos at the Phoenix Tribune. Santos had previously exposed corporate health scandals and immediately recognized the significance of Rebecca's evidence. The resulting investigation revealed that Nutritech Industries was indeed conducting illegal human experimentation on a massive scale. Over 10,000 families across the country had been unknowingly participating in toxicology studies through their smart cooking devices. The FBI raided Nutritech's headquarters, arresting Dr. Marcus Vaughn and 17 other company executives. The investigation revealed internal documents showing that the company had been monitoring health effects in test families for over 2 years, with some subjects showing serious organ damage. Most shocking was the discovery that Nutritech had been selling the health data they collected to pharmaceutical companies and government agencies interested in the effects of chemical exposure on human populations. The Thompson family's ordeal led to the largest consumer protection lawsuit in kitchen appliance history. Rebecca's evidence became the foundation for criminal charges against Nutritech's leadership and civil suits on behalf of affected families. Dr. Marcus Vaughn was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison for conducting illegal human experimentation and conspiracy to commit assault. Nutritech Industries was forced to pay over $500 million in damages to affected families and was permanently shut down. But the damage had been done. Many families had suffered permanent health effects from months of exposure to Nutritech's toxic cooking processes. Several children had developed liver damage that would require lifelong medical care. The Thompson family recovered fully, though they never again trusted smart kitchen technology. Rebecca became an advocate for consumer protection in smart home devices, working to ensure that no other families would become unwitting test subjects in corporate experiments. Their kitchen now features a simple, conventional gas stove with no internet connection, no AI algorithms, and no ability to modify cooking processes without the user's direct control. The Thompson family's nightmare ended, but their story exposed a terrifying vulnerability in our increasingly connected homes. Smart appliances that promise to improve our lives can just as easily be used to harm us, all while collecting data on their effects. The CookSmart Pro case revealed that the line between helpful technology and human experimentation is thinner than we'd ever imagined. In our rush to optimize every aspect of our lives through AI and smart technology, we may be opening our most intimate spaces, our kitchens, our meals, our family's health, to forces beyond our control. Today, Rebecca Thompson inspects every smart device that enters her home with the scrutiny of a security expert. She reads every terms of service agreement, researches every company, and never forgets that the technology designed to serve us can just as easily be designed to study us, change us, or even harm us. The next time a smart appliance promises to optimize your family's health, the next time you're tempted by AI-powered convenience in your kitchen, remember the Thompson family. Remember that the most dangerous experiments are often the ones conducted without our knowledge or consent. Your kitchen should be a place of nourishment and family connection, not a laboratory where your loved ones become unwitting test subjects. Stay vigilant, read the fine print, and never forget, in our connected world, every smart device is potentially watching, learning, and possibly conducting experiments you never agreed to participate in. Cook with caution. Trust with skepticism. And remember, sometimes the most dangerous poison comes from the source you trust most, the food prepared in your own kitchen.